Hey everyone, my name is Peter Norton, game designer and co-creator of Favor, Gods of Oethera, and I'm here to teach you just a little bit about the game and why it's so awesome. So this is Favor, Gods of Oethera. It's an action-adventure, tile-laying board game for 3 to 6 players, where you play as one of these 6 adorable, but also mechanically unique characters, each with their own stats and ultimate abilities, as you battle your friends in a contest for the favor of the gods. The goal of the game is to be the first to reach 10 points of favor. The main way you're going to do that is by using action points on your turn to move your character around the board, laying out tiles to build a unique map as you search for relic items. Eventually, you're going to take those relic items back to the altar on the center of the board and offer them to the gods for tokens of favor. So let's go into a real quick how to play turn order. So every turn begins the exact same way. You're going to draw a god card. There are god cards in the center of the table. The gods have a decree for you. You draw the card and it says, hey, +1 energy this turn. How kind of the gods. Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they can be a little chaotic. They're gods. Either way, you draw the card, read it out loud to the table, do what it says, discard it, then you move to your actions. Every turn you get 4 points of energy, which are going to be your action points, to do everything in the game. So moving around the board, playing action cards, attacking your friends, trying to capture banners, getting items, offer them to the gods, it's all energy. It's a very open world kind of experience that we're going for with this game. So, because the gods gave me 1 extra energy this turn, I'm actually going to go up to 5 right here. And I'm going to spend my turn doing some exploring. I'm going to look for some ruins to find some relics. So, my character's here on the altar in the center of the board, and I'm going to spend 1 energy to make a basic movement into the forest. I'm going to flip the top tile from the forest, and you get to orient that tile however you would like. So if you want to put it this way and kind of block off that path and build a bit of a wall, you totally can. That's up to you. It's how you feel. The only requirement is that it has to make a connection from the tile you just stepped off of because you're moving onto that tile. So I'm going to do it this way because that's how I'm feeling. And then I'm going to keep exploring because, as I said, I'm looking for ruin tiles. So I'm going to spend 1 more energy and I'm going to move off in this direction and, hey, look at that, a ruin! So what you do when you find a ruin, aside from cheer, is you're going to grab a ruin token and you're going to put it on that tile with the check mark face up. That means that there are relics inside and you can delve into it. I'm going to spend an energy and, of course, I'm going to delve. So I'm going to flip that token over to the X, meaning no more relics inside, and then you're going to draw the top relic from the stack. Boom, it goes into play and you are now stronger. There are 4 types of relics in the game. You can get charm relics or fight relics, where you're going to boost your charm or your fight. Blessings have really good powers, and then you've got some curses that have some bad stuff going on, but still a relic is better than no relic. Each of the 36 unique relics has their own ability that changes how you play the game. So opportunities for sequencing, combos, synergies, all that kind of stuff. It's a strategy game, so everything you would expect from a strategy game. Eventually, however, you're going to make your way back to the altar in the center of the board, and you're going to take those relics that you have found from around the world, and you're going to offer them to the gods. For each relic you discard and give to the gods, they will give you 1 victory point towards that 10 points of winning the game. So that's kind of your core gameplay loop, is run around the map, flipping down tiles and building a unique board as you look for these ruin tiles, delve inside for the relics, come back on the middle of the altar, turn them in, get victory points. You'll notice that when we delved into that ruin earlier, we flipped the token over to the X. That means that you can't delve there again, so you're going to have to go somewhere else. This encourages exploring and building out the board in the early to mid-game. There are 2 ruin tiles in each of the regions. Now, 8 total ruins is not enough to have a fun game of favor. But because every turn begins by drawing a god card, eventually the gods will, hey, replenish all forest ruins. So I'm going to go over to that forest ruin we just delved into, and I'm going to flip the token back over to the checkmark side. Now anyone can go there and delve. So our sapling friend here can go 1, 2, and then whoop, delve inside, draw themselves a coffee maker. Now the sapling has 1 extra fight and an ability that says you can play an attack action card for free each turn because he's all hyped up on caffeine. So speaking of fight, you have hearts in the game. So this keeps track of your health, and as you take damage, you will flip over your tokens to the broken heart side, and as you heal, you flip them back over to the full heart side. If at any point you lose all of your health, you have become stunned. A couple of things happen here. First, if you have relics, you're going to discard half of them rounded down. So if you had 3 relics, you're going to discard 1. If you had 1 relic, you get to keep it. On your next turn, you're going to come back with full hearts, back on that same tile where you got stunned, draw a god card, read it out loud, go to your actions, everything just moves on as normal. If you're the person who knocked the other person out, so if I stunned you, I get a point of favor. So the gods will reward me for doing some violence on my friends. So that's kind of the combat or the PvP path to victory, if that's kind of the route that you want to go to in the game. And then the third primary way of getting favor and victory points in the game is the charm path or the player versus environment path. So there is a settlement in each of these regions. And you can make your way over to that settlement, and you can use charm to try and capture the settlement banner. Charm the people of the village to follow your cause. To do that, you're going to use the challenge die. So challenges work the same way, whether it's a wit challenge, a fight challenge, or a charm challenge. You're going to roll the die, and in order to succeed, you have to roll less than whatever the stat in question is. So for the settlements, it's charm, because you're trying to charm the people. So there are 2 zeros on this die. So it goes 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now, with my charm of 2 on the Ceridian, I have about a 50-50 chance of succeeding. But because I have this universal translator from earlier, I actually have 3 charm. But because the universal translator says +1 extra charm during settlement rolls, because it's the settlement relic, I'm sitting at 4 charm for this challenge. So I'm going to spend 1 energy, and I'm going to try to roll to capture the banner. I have to roll anything but a 4. Oh my gosh, I rolled a 4! That's okay, because you can spend energy to try again. You can try as many times as you have energy. So I'm going to roll again, and hey, easy win. Well below 4, I'm going to take that banner, and as I capture that banner, I get 1 point of favor. Each of the 4 banners has their own unique buff that while you hold on to that banner, you get that buff, that stat, and as you go to each of the settlements and capture them, you get 1 point of favor for each one you capture. The way that you lose banners is that someone else goes to that same settlement, so if someone else goes to the forest settlement, they succeed a charm challenge of their own, they'll yoink the banner away from me. They will gain a point of favor. I will not lose my point of favor. There's no way to lose victory points in the game, but I will lose the banner, I will lose the buff. If I happen to capture that same one back, I'll also get favor again. So if that's really the path you want to go, run around the board, capture banners, get victory points that way. One really important thing to note about the banners, if at any point you control all 4 banners at once, you have dominated the will of the people and you immediately win the game. So that is your second victory condition. You're either trying to be the first to reach 10 points of favor or the first to get 4 banners. The only secret information that you have in the game are the action cards. There are 4 types of action cards. Action cards cost you energy, anywhere from 0 to 3 energy, depending on the strength of the card. The first type of action card is the attack action card, and it's pretty straightforward. It's your bread and butter for how you're going to beat up other players. The second type of action card, and the most frequent type of action card you'll run into, is the spell action card. The spells are more utility focused, healing, teleporting, scrying, that kind of stuff. Then you have hexes. Hexes are status conditions that you apply to other players that last for only 1 turn. It's a great way to slow down the player who's winning or just to get back at someone who wronged you in a previous turn. And then finally, we have the trap cards. Traps all work the exact same way. You play a trap action card for 0 energy, and then you're going to reach into the trap bag here. You're going to dip your hand in, you're going to pull out one of the 4 different types of traps, you're going to take a look at what it is, and then you're going to put it somewhere on the board according to where the card said you were allowed to do so. Once the trap is on the board, anyone who steps on it, including you, will set off that trap and suffer the consequences. Traps are a great way to protect your investment. So as you capture one of those settlement banners and move off of the tile, you can place a trap there. That way anyone who wants to go to that settlement and try and take the banner from you is going to have to face tank that trap and see what it is. This game has an incredible amount of replay value. Every time you play the game, the board comes out in a different way. You've got event tiles that you can run into where you're going to run into meddling gods and other characters of the world, and have some fun flavor interactions and some fun mechanical interactions with the event cards. You've got warp pads that allow you to teleport around the board to kind of spice up the game. You've got these terrain tiles that add a little bit of flavor and some more mechanics to kind of the moving around the world and exploring this world. The gods are going to give you opportunities of terraforming, where they'll pick up the mountain tiles and move the mountains over into the wastelands. And as you step off of the mountains, they keep proliferating here in the wastelands. So that's makes a really fun narrative component, but it also has a mechanical element. Because, for instance, the Ceridian, their boon, their ultimate ability, says teleport to the settlement of the region you're in. Well, if I'm in the mountains and I use my boon, even though I'm way over here, I'm going to teleport to the mountain settlement on the other side of the board and try and capture that banner for some more favor and some more buffs. So there's some real cheeky stuff you can do where you're like, oh, I'm over in the wastelands. Oh, I'm back in the mountains, and kind of bouncing back and forth and doing some really fun stuff there. You'll notice when I use my boon, everyone starts the game with their boon ready and available. It doesn't cost you energy. It's just use it when you want to use it on your turn. Once you have used your boon, you can't use it again until it replenishes. The way you replenish your boon is by offering relics to the gods on the altar. So if you play that fetch quest for the gods and you turn in the relics, you get favor for turning them in, but also the gods will replenish your boon. So if you sequence things right, you can use your boon about 1 to 3 times a game usually. The game is for 3 to 6 players, about 45 to 90 minutes as the standard game time. It's a perfect Friday night game night. We're going to have lots of opportunities for going, yeah, and lots of opportunities for going, oh, and plenty of opportunities to get back at your friends who wronged you in the previous turn. So we hope you like the game, and we hope to have your support of the Kickstarter. See you around.